Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Welcome back to the show. Christina Flach, our celebrity makeup artist, woman extraordinaire. There's a lot of titles, has her own products. She's just an entrepreneur and philanthropist and awesome person. Go ahead. Tell us a little bit about what you do, darling. And
Oh, you're too sweet.
yeah, there's no good intro for you because it's so much. Like it would take like
So
a half
much.
hour to tell you how amazing you are. But as a person, she's awesome
No.
first and foremost, and she looks beautiful. She helps people feel beautiful, and definitely, I know, for example, you have a new skincare line out. What is it called?
It's called I'm Too Busy. A
Mm,
skincare and makeup. I'm Too
perfect.
Busy. So we just launched and we're having new products coming out very frequently, hopefully. So it's all still in production, some of it, but you can get some on I'm Too Busy.co. But I'm also the CEO and founder of Pretty Girl Makeup. I am a celebrity makeup artist, as you mentioned, and philanthropist and mom and, all these good things. And, friend to you.
And
So.
and gotta ask, are you a candy corn lover?
Oh, that's my sister. I mean, it's Halloween. Yeah.
Love it. She's at her
Right?
dad's, and we were just
I'm
talking,
at
but
my dad's. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love it. I love it. It's so cute.
Pumpkins, there's
Beautiful.
candy corn. Yes. I'm a big fan of Halloween, as I
Me
know
too.
you are. I know
Yes.
you are.
Oh, we're obsessed. Oh
I've been
gosh.
enjoying your kids, your Instagram with your
Oh,
kids with the
thank
Halloween.
you. That's
It's
all. Yeah.
always
Wait,
fun.
wait till you see the house post. I gotta show you what we did at the house this year. Another time. But first and
Okay.
foremost, how was you
Yes.
were in Alaska? You were
I was in
traveling all over.
Alaska. Yes, all over. And now I'm going to Phoenix tomorrow for 4 days for a photo shoot. And then I come back next week. And then I have 2 days with Williams Sonoma with my favorite client, Tyler Florence. We're going to be doing 2 days. So yeah. So guess what we're going to talk about today?
What?
We're going to talk about makeup mistakes that you don't even know you're making.
Okay, good one. Good one.
Yeah. So I don't know what your thoughts are on it, but I think most of the time people overwash their face and they over exfoliate, they don't hydrate enough, they don't protect their face enough. So that's a huge one, is just getting your face moisture, clean it in the morning, obviously, and then at night, get everything off, especially get off the mascara. Does not do well on the lashes. It damages them. But try this, do a reverse cleansing. Let's do the moisturizer, the cleanser in your hand, then wash your face, and then go on with your day. Another makeup blunder is the wrong foundation color. People are so confused as whether is it need to be darker than your skin tone, lighter, what's the right one? And as you and I have talked about before, the right one is it disappears, you don't see it. So it's super important. It's going to change during the year. In the summer, you're going to probably have a little bit of a darker foundation. Even if you protect your skin from the sun, it's inevitably going to get a little bit more color. Unlike you're so good protecting your face with your hat and all your stuff, but the average person doesn't do that much protection. So you don't think it's strange if you have a different foundation for the winter months and the summer months.
And I blend them, by the way. I do still to this day. Right
Good.
now, like I'm doing more of the light than the dark.
That's
I
okay.
blend them. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, that's okay. And then with concealer, when are you supposed to put it on? Are you supposed to put it on before or after? It really,
or both?
Yeah, both. That's kind of what Jill and I like to do.
I was gonna say, is that what you do too? Like I do, like
yes.
the light here today, and then
I do the light on the lid underneath, and then I put on the foundation. Then I'll work on the brows and the lashes and the eyes, and then I'll do another layer, thin, very thin concealer on the bottom. And you want to make sure that it's moisturized. If it is not moisturized, that's another big blunder. If you forget to put on moisturizer during the day and your vitamin C serum and everything, your makeup is going to look atrocious. It's going to not go on well.
It's cracky and every wrinkle's going to show. Yeah.
Everyone. That's a huge one. People don't realize how important it is to have your skin hydrated before you start putting on your makeup. It's a big one. So, make sure you add that moisturizer to your skin and the eye cream under your eyes. Here's one. Where do you put on your makeup? it's super important to put it on with the light facing you. And I know not all our bathrooms have perfect lighting, but it really makes a huge difference. I'm daring everyone to take this challenge of doing your makeup in front of a window, because you are going to get such a different effect on how much makeup you put on. You might be putting on a whole lot less or a whole lot more, but you're going to actually see what the reality is going on with the light is hitting your face evenly. Super, super important. What do you think about that?
I think that's so true. I have my bathroom window. I have to look to my right to get light, but I take the hand mirror and I walk it over and I look, especially when I'm doing like my brows, because you
Oh
can
yeah,
see so much clearer for sure. That's a good one. That's a
totally.
good one.
Yep, that's true. So, it's also important blending in, like when you're putting on your foundation, how do you put it on? So I typically, even when I'm working on myself or my clients, I will squeeze like 2 pumps onto like the back of my hand. And I use that as a little palette. I get my foundation brush and I kind of put it on.
Oh,
I
what type?
put it
Tell me, what you use a
like
foundation
a
brush
flat.
or
Yeah, I do. I use a
you have?
foundation brush. I mean,
Uh-huh.
you can use your fingers, but I think
Mm-hmm.
that you don't really want to. I think you get a more even application if you use the makeup brush, a foundation brush. It's kind of flat. You can use any one that you have, but it is a great tool and it really helps making sure that it goes on evenly. So you want to get it underneath the eyes, on top of the lids, if you don't use a primer, and all over the face, blend it down into your neck, forehead, everywhere, and just make sure that it's even. It's a much better, more effective way of using, the foundation. How do you put yours on? Do you use your fingers?
I use my fingers and then I use one of those like triangle makeup sponges and that's how I blend it.
Oh,
But I see all
nice.
these like tutorials and all these cool people like they're using that you mentioned a brush and they put the light here and then they highlight the brush and they brush over here and they do like the dark and I'm like I want to do that. I don't even know what type of brush to get to even try to start that.
I know. That's, it's so funny. We see all these tutorials, and they're so entertaining, but for real life and for what I do on set with my clients, the amount of time that it takes for them to put on all this, you know, highlighting, the
Yeah.
contouring, that's not for real life makeup
Yeah.
artists. Like if you look on commercials, you never see anyone with like totally
Mm-hmm.
contoured face and tons of makeup. It just,
Yeah.
these makeup artists are so good. They make you look like you have nothing on. You just look great.
Yeah.
And that's how you should want to look in real life. Another thing that people do quite frequently is putting on too much foundation. So
Guilty of that
the
sometimes. Yes, for sure.
well, we all are, like, when we're feeling tired, we're like, oh, let's add a little more. But honestly, the most important thing to do is not over put, like, more than 2 pumps of any
Mm-hmm.
foundation is going to be too much over your entire face and neck. And sometimes your chest, if you want to do it. It actually, a lot of these foundations now have sunscreen in it, which is
Yeah.
so great because it gives you so it is good to
Mm-hmm.
have the foundation on with the protection, but you don't want to have so much on that when someone sees you and they're like, whoa, that they notice that you have a lot of foundation on. You don't want to do that because it's excessive. Um, Eyebrow disasters. We have all heard about these. You and I've talked about it before. People tend to think like, makeup trends are really fantastic, but eyebrows, the trends are going to change every year. And it's, again, these trends are someone's opinion,
Yeah.
but you really have to focus on what looks best on your face, with the brows, because the thing is, if you over pluck your brows, let's say this season, it's thin brows. Well, guess what? Next year, your brows aren't going to grow back.
True.
So it's super important to go to a professional and have them do, wax your brows and get
Yeah.
them just cleaned up, and have them just like a classic clean brow that's, underneath and the top and the middle, and that be that. Don't go crazy, because sometimes, and you and I've seen this for years, Jill, when people have no brows, like they've overplucked, and it's the one time that, our body hair grows back all the time where you don't
Yeah.
want it to, but where you want it to on your brows, then they don't grow back.
Yeah.
So it's a very risky undertaking when you're doing that. So what about the wrong or right eyeliner? What's your thought on that?
Okay, let me just be honest with you. The only eyeliner that I like is like the gel now. I just use like a MAC gel, but I can't find the right brush to put it on anymore. My old brush went to the, but then I don't know how to put any eyeliner. If I put it on with that, it looked like a crayon type thing. I don't get it right. What do you use?
So I have green eyes, and so I use like a plum liner. So I will make sure my whole lid is,
Is it like a
got the.
gel liner or is it like
No, it's just like a just a soft liner. It's not really gel. It's just like a normal, just
okay, and it
plain
stays
brush.
on?
It stays on. So one of my tricks that I do is I put, the primer, the concealer
Let's go
on.
on
I
first.
will and then I'll put like a creamy color eyeshadow on the whole entire lid under the brow. I fill in the brows with a brown shadow or a pencil. And then I will when you're putting on a liner, you want it to be super thin into the lashes. You don't want a big, thick line. A big, thick line is going to make your eyes look smaller. Most people don't want that. You want your eyes to look larger. So you want to give the illusion anyway. So you'll put the liner on super thin into the lash line, top and bottom. And then you can get a shadow, a thin brush, and you'll get a shadow to put on top of it. That will soften the look. It will also give longevity to your eyes for the day. So it's really, and it also, if we make a little mistake,
Yeah.
it conceals that as well. So
But now
those
what
are the
about
reasons.
under the eye? What do you use under the eye?
So what
Like the
I'll
same?
do the same thing. I'll do the same liner underneath the eye, and then I'll blend it in with some shadow and just soften it. It gives a softer look. One of my things that drives me crazy when I see people, and I'm being kind of judgy, is when I see very pale blonde people, with big, thick black liquid liner in the middle of the day. A dark liquid liner is fantastic for the holidays or if you're going out for a special evening, but it's not
Mhm.
appropriate for every day. But, again, who am I to say? It's just my opinion. But I think, and if that makes you happy and you feel
Yeah.
good about it and makes you feel confident, then you do you. But these are just some thoughts for
And
one to think
and
of.
well, hold on. And are you doing your eyes first before you do the foundation and concealer, or what? Because this stuff falls on. What do you? What's the?
That's a very good question. So I do both. It just depends on the day. But I typically will I for sure do the concealer under the eye and then I'll do the eye and then I'll do the foundation. But sometimes I'll go out of my order. So everyone has an order.
Okay.
Sometimes I mix it up and see what's your order.
I put this is what I've ready. I put my moisturizer. I put my concealer on in this area, and on
Okay.
top of my eyelids, like you. And then I do my eyeshadow. I do the white, like you
Okay.
said, everywhere. Then I do
Uh-huh.
the little color. But then, if it's a day like today, it's like a basic day. But if I had a day where I was adding dark brown into the
Yeah.
corners and stuff,
Yeah.
I don't have a choice. It all falls here. Like it all falls on so I have to take more. Then I take a Q-tip and I take the moisturizer. Oh, then I take the concealer with the Q-tip. So
Yes.
I don't know, but I feel like I like that better than still not putting anything right there first. I don't know.
No, I mean,
And
I think you need a thin liner. And you and I've talked about this before. Both of us like to do we'll do the eyes, and then do another layer. It's just some eyeshadows are a little messier than others.
yeah,
Sometimes it's fine and it's not a big deal, but then I've put on some shadows that they splatter all over the place. And so
yeah,
you kind of have to start over. You can get a makeup wipe or a Q-tip's fantastic, and just kind of pat it and try and get it. And then you kind of have to start over, which
yeah.
is really annoying when you're in a
Oh,
rush. So
other quick question. Hold on. Like your makeup today looks
yes.
beautiful. How do you
Oh,
take that
thank
off?
you.
Do you use a Q-tip to get it off with makeup remover? What's your trick?
To get it off,
Yes.
at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Oh, end of the day, I squirt in my hand a quarter size of apricot oil.
Okay.
And then I wipe it all over, and then I get a makeup wipe, take it off, and then I get so my little trick is go to Target. They have like a stack of black hand wash rags. And so because I used to buy white,
Ah,
everything's white in my bathroom. And so the black ones are like, if you go to a really fancy high-end hotel, they always have like a makeup, washcloth. So Target has, and they're like $3 for like a stack of 8 of them.
yeah.
So I just have tons of black washcloths, and I will add some cleanser and moisturizer and then get everything else off. But that way it's not ruining my washcloths every day. because there's always some
everything comes off
residue.
your eyes. Okay. You don't need, I always need a
Everything.
Q-tip to get. Okay.
Yeah, no,
Interesting.
well, I think it's the apricot oil, or you can use
Okay.
coconut oil. Some oil, it really loosens it up.
Okay.
I'll even use a little bit of toilet paper
Okay.
to just get it a
Mm-hmm.
little rougher off. But the makeup wipe and the apricot oil is really fantastic. So those are some good ones. So what's your thoughts on lip liner? Lip liner gets a bad rep
I
sometimes.
kind of tell you something. I don't use it much unless I'm taking like professional pictures or
Uh-huh.
whatever. But I love that it can make someone's lips look so much bigger and fuller. And but it's not.
So
I
much.
don't like this part, but like the blending concept makes it look so beautiful. But my lips, it doesn't stay on. I'm always blowing my nose or I'm eating something, so I've
So,
given
and
up.
the
And
water.
for work, like if I'm on like camera for work, I'll put like a little bit on, but then I feel like, yeah, I don't use much anymore. But I do love how you could do it like a photo shoot and make the lips accentuate and look beautiful.
They are great. So some tips with lip liner. So you can even put a little bit of foundation across your lip, and then sharpen your pencil. That's an important part. People forget to sharpen. So you want to just, fill in the brow around your neck, like for every day. Like if you're just going to work or whatever, put some lip liner on around your lip on the outer skirts of your lip.
Like a
And then
light,
if you
like what type of color?
like a light, like a nude. Let's just say we're
Okay.
doing a nude every day. So you're just going to go around the lip, but then you can use it to fill in the entire lip because that's going to give a little longevity to the lip color all day long. You can just put on some lip gloss on top of that and that be that. Or if you have a little more time, put on some lipstick on top of the lips, or even some just some chapstick or
Yeah.
whatever, because just to give a little moisture. You always want to make sure that your lips are hydrated. There you go.
This is like my little bliss deck thing. I always keep it here, and I'm always like
Yeah,
this throughout the
it
show.
feels so good. It's addicting.
Hmm.
I have one in the car. I just like put it on all the time because it just feels nice.
It does.
My son, Ben, tells me all the time, Mom, if you didn't use that all the time, you wouldn't need it all the time. Now that you put it on, now your lips like don't know how to
I feel like
moisturize.
they
I'm like,
crave. I don't know. I feel like it's
whatever.
true though.
I know. I think it is too, but now I'm like, no.
Hmm.
So the other big one is face powder. Do you use it? Do you not? So,
I know, but I do. What I do use for oil, I use the clear white powder, and I'll put a
mhm,
sponge, and that helps me absorb oil. That's it. But I don't put colored powder on color
no,
powder on my
you want
face.
to exactly. You want to use a
Translucent.
translucent
That's the
powder.
word. Yeah.
Yes, the big fancy word for powder, for face powder. So translucent powder it's just a very sheer powder that's just going to absorb the oils. But you definitely want to keep it away from the areas underneath your eyes where we tend to get lines. It will show every line, wrinkle that you have and more that you don't even know. You're like, oh, I didn't know I had those lines, but
Yeah.
there they are. So I would definitely try and keep the area under your eye moisturized, keep it, and absolutely no powder under there. You can also, I know this sounds very strange, but if you're out and about and your face is feeling a little oily and you don't have anything, you have no makeup, you can go in. We've talked about this. Then go into the you're in the bathroom, you get a toilet seat cover, and you just rip off a little piece, press and lift, and it absorbs all the oil and your makeup is intact. So that's always you know, a good
Okay.
little hint in an emergency.
And if
There's
there's
always
no
an
toilet seat cover,
emergency.
use the one ply toilet paper.
There you go. Toilet paper that you don't want to use. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fantastic for that. So, how about highlighter? Highlighter, it's an interesting thing. It's again supposed to be just a little bit of a highlighter.
I
It's
don't know
not
where it
supposed to be a
goes. I don't
whole.
know. Where does it go? I don't even know.
I mean, typically you want it to go on the areas you want to highlight. So your cheekbones, you can put it down your nose and on your chin. You want to reflect the light there. Another little photo shoot hint that I use all the time is I will get a tiny bit of Vaseline, very sheer, and just tap it on the cheeks. So if you're having a photo shoot or you're getting some photos done and you want a little extra light to go there, just tap it a
Ah,
little on the upper cheekbone. So those are really good. Um, Now, then there's the thing. My hairdresser has told me this repeatedly, that dry shampoo is really not fantastic for your hair. It build up.
I use it all the time, but go ahead.
I know, but and also depends how often you wash your hair. Um, if you're exercising a lot and you just keep applying dry shampoo, it is going to get some buildup. So, you want to use it for certain, you don't want to use it constantly because it is going, and especially if you have extensions or color in your hair,
Yeah.
it's again, balance. I'm not saying not to use it. I'm just saying, just be careful with it. If you notice that your skin is starting to get itchy, give yourself a little scalp treatment, or give it a good wash. Water and vinegar is a great to clear things up with that. So that's a little hair hit. What's your
Never
favorite
thought
little hair
about
hit?
that. Wait,
Yeah.
water, vinegar.
Water and vinegar. So water and vinegar is really good. It gets rid of any excess oils, but it also will break down any buildup that you have.
Okay, here, I don't have this, but I hear you're supposed to use like a clarifying shampoo. What
Yes.
is a clarifying shampoo? And can I just use vinegar?
Yeah, you can use vinegar and water, and that'd be
See?
that. It's just you just have to figure out what works best for your hair and speak to your hairstylist and
I
ask,
mean,
like,
every now and then. Well, I have extensions, but I put dry shampoo in because I wash my hair every like 2, 3 days, I guess.
oh gosh, that's frequently. Most people wash it once a week. I mean, not most. I'm
No,
just going to talk about me.
I've done that too, but
Yeah,
I
you
get
don't want
so
to.
oily.
I
If I
know.
leave it
So
one day, it's so oily, so I have to use a lot of dry shampoo. Or baby
yeah.
powder
So
is my other trick if you're out.
yes, yes. Or, if you do feel like you get oily and your hair is feeling yucky, I go to hot yoga all the time and I just feel like really oily in my face. So I will wash like the front part of my hair and leave the rest of it for another day. So it's not getting so much. So at least even if you get this part in here, it really is getting a lot of the oil off and it smells like it feels fresh. Because that's just, I know sometimes you just feel like yucky and oily and you
Yeah.
don't like it. So I don't know. It's one little hint. Just wash part of your head, not the entire head,
Okay.
because it is dry. It is drying on your hair. If you have color in your hair or whatever you have, you want to not be constantly using shampoo that is, going to be damaging. Not that shampoo is damaging, but you know what I mean? You don't want to take away the color. Excess washing will just dry out your head, your scalp. So curious if people sleep with their makeup on.
I used to when I used to have a morning show at 2 and 3 in the morning. Like I would sleep. I called it in the crypt like this. I try not to move because there's some nights you had to go out late and then, for like a dinner or a function, and then it's like 10, 11 o'clock at night, and then you got to be up at 2 to do your makeup. So I'd sleep like this. But now I don't do that anymore. I can't. You know how many styes I've gotten from doing that, especially wearing fake
Yeah.
lashes and stuff.
Oh yeah. No, it's I tell people that it's like super important, even if you're out late and you're drinking and whatever, just get a makeup wipe, get some hand cream, even wipe your face off. Get it at least the majority of it. You don't have to do your whole skincare regime. You don't have to do the toner, everything else. It's just do something to get it off because your skin does need to breathe. And it needs to just the mascara needs to come off, the eyeshadow, everything needs to just get removed and start afresh. But if you have a night when it's just not possible, then it's just not possible. It's not the end of the world, right?
Yeah.
And then another big one is just the makeup brushes. They do need to be cleaned. People are worrying constantly about clean beauty and all the ingredients, worrying about the ingredients that are in makeup. And then I look at their makeup brushes and it's like, God knows what kind of diseases that are growing. Once a week minimum, wipe those, clean those makeup brushes. You can use a makeup wipe. You can use shampoo and conditioner. You can use olive oil and vinegar and a little bit of soap. That will it'll slide
Will
right off.
alcohol dry out the brushes if I use alcohol
Yes.
and water? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you could use a tiny bit. It's fine.
I feel
but,
like it's killing the germs. That's what I do. Yeah, guilty.
Yeah, I know. I get that.
I used to
It's
use brush
fine.
cleaners, but then I'm like, why am I buying brush cleaner if I could just
Yeah. I mean, that's why shampoo and conditioner are so great because it's you've got to treat your makeup brushes like hair because that's what they are. So when you wash them, you're going to, especially the foundation brushes, that's the one that I feel that needs to get cleaned the most, and the eyeliner. Even just, soaking it in some warm soapy water and it's shocking how that oil will just remove it. But just get it off and towel dry it a little bit, and then you can let it dry out in this, it'll dry overnight. So it's important to do. If you're concerned about clean beauty, clean your makeup brushes.
Beautiful. All right. We're out of time.
Well,
Christina.
wow, today flew by. I didn't know what we were going to talk about this morning.
Really? We did a great job. Yeah. We could have kept going.
Today I'm like, whew. It flows.
It does. Well, pleasure seeing you. Remind us how we can reach out to you and all your websites and contacts and your products.
So you can go if you want to see more tutorials and photo shoots that I do, ChristinaFlach.com and PrettyGirlMakeup.com and I'mTooBusy.co, and on Instagram, Christina Flach Makeup and Pretty Girl Makeup. And we're offering 25% discount with the discount code Pretty Girl.
Ooh, I love that. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Pretty girl. You are a pretty girl.
Thank you. Oh, love you.
Love you too.
I'll
Bye,
see you
sweetheart.
next week.
Sounds
Bye,
good.
darling.
Thank you so much. Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house. And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.